This is just going to be a quick review on these eBay Chinese tire machines I bought. Looks like the brand name is, I don't know how you pronounce that, Zingkong. They're very similar to the Mayflower ones. They actually quite similar to the Mayflower ones. They might even be the same thing, just with a different sticker on it. I would imagine the Chinese ones are probably all pretty much similar. I bought these about a year ago, and I kept track of how many tires I changed on them because I didn't know that I would change enough tires to make it a worthy purchase for my garage here. So I did, though. I've done over 50 sets, so I've got over 200 tires, and so they're paid for. I think I paid $1,200 or $1,300 for the pair, and they've paid for themselves by now at $10 a tire. So I figured I'd do a little review, to show the longevity, because I didn't know, are these things going to last a month, or are they going to last 10 years? I didn't know. So I can tell you they'll last at least a year or 200 tires. They're both still going strong. I did have one little issue with the balancer, and it was, I think I was on like my 32nd tire because I was keeping track. And inside, underneath this cover here, there's a tone ring, and there's a plastic spacer that broke on the back side of the tone ring, and it hit the circuit board, and it caused it to throw an error code. And I contacted the eBay seller, and he was quick to ship me new parts and videos to show me how to fix it. In the meantime, I was rather impatient, and I took it apart and found that little plastic piece that broke off bent the circuit board, and I didn't wait for the new one to arrive, and I took it apart myself, and I was able to fix it. This is the circuit board right here that broke, and what it is you can see these little sensors right here. It's almost like a pickup wheel, like for your crank sensor, like a reluctor wheel. They ride in these grooves right here, and these little things got bent. I simply bent them back into shape, and I balanced a tire. I balanced one tire on a car that was balanced prior. It balanced right out. I drove it down the road. I did not have any issues with it. So when this part came in, I didn't bother putting it on. I thought, well, I'll just keep it, and maybe 5-10 years down the road, if it ever breaks, hey, I got a free part out of the deal anyway, so I can put it on. It's working fine now. Let me get the camera mounted up here, and I've got some tires, and I figured I would give you a quick demonstration of how this thing works. I got gloves on, well, mostly because I wear gloves all the time, but this tire is off of a mid-80s Chevy S10, and judging by the 15-inch tire, or 14-inch tire, and the American Racing Wheel, it's probably been on that truck since darn near the 80s. So, but anyway, there's cords, wires sticking out, so I got the gloves on to protect my hands. But just to give you a quick rundown how the machine works, it's just like a name brand machine, but built with Chinese quality. So that being said, it's got a pedal on either end of it that runs the turntable. You push the pedal down either side, it runs the turntable clockwise, and if you get your tires stuck, trying to pull the tool out, you can lift up on it, and you can run it counterclockwise. These two pedals are hooked together, and it's just for the rim. And then the third pedal to the right here is the touch for the speed breaker. I'm going to go ahead and pull this tire off the rim for you. This does come with a plastic guide along here. I don't use it unless the rim is one of those fancy rims and I don't want a chance scratching it or scuffing it, but I don't use it very often. Surprisingly, that tire broke down fairly easy. I thought I might have to struggle with it a little bit. I was actually surprised by the amount of power this had. This is one of the things that really sucks if you get an old tire changer and you're trying to break down some low profile tires and you can't get the bead to break loose. And I was afraid, like, you know, buying something that's come from China, I thought maybe the strength wouldn't be there, but I haven't had that issue with this tire changer. It's got plenty of power to peel the tire off. I would say that and it gets stuck, right? Set the rim up there. Okay. Okay, that'll work. Okay, tires on the machine. Go ahead and clamp the rim down. Just like your bigger name brand, it's got the stop. I mean, everything's there. It's just a little bit cheaper, a little bit smaller. A couple of the bigger tires, I was doing some 20-inch tires on a Dodge Ram, and it would get caught up in there, and that's where that reverse feature really came in handy, because then you could rock it like a vehicle and get past it. But for the most part, I haven't had any problems at all with this machine, and it's changed over 200 tires. Clean that corrosion off. I don't know if anybody's still using the little die grinder with the roll-lock wheels, but by God, get yourself a wire cup and put it on a angle grinder. This is a must-have for doing tires. I wouldn't do it any other way. Unless there's a faster way, and if there is, let me know. I'd love to hear it. Alright, before I put that tire on, I'm going to throw a new valve stem in there. Another valve stem tool. I bought that on eBay as well. I want to say it was about $10 or $12. This is Dawn dish soap and water. The tire thing didn't come with any slime, and I was going to buy some, and I was looking up to see if there was any home recipes, and everybody was raving about how great Dawn dish soap worked. So that's what I've mounted the last 200 tires with. Dawn dish soap. You can hear that thing doesn't even labor. I mean, it doesn't slow down. It's got plenty of power. Now, I didn't buy this I didn't pay it was like $300 extra to get the bead blast built into the machine. And I went back and forth. I contemplated buying it with it, without it. I finally settled on buying without it because probably I think it's a safe bet to say 75% of the tires maybe more, don't require the bead blast like this one. You can tell this one's not going to. So before I made the decision not to get the bead blast, I purchased a 10-gallon Cheetah, and I got it. I think it was $62 shipped to my house, and I don't know what makes them worth $200-300 when they do the same thing. That thing is awesome. I've never had a tire that I couldn't air up, and there was, quite a period of time after I first got it. I think I was using it just for fun, it'll literally half inflate the tire. It'll set the bead and it'll half inflate the whole tire. It'll also kick up quite a dust storm. Okay, tire is mounted. Now we'll move on and we'll put it on the balancer. We'll balance it up just real quick here. Real quick here, this is what I bought for setting the bead on the tires. Real quick here, this is what I bought for setting the bead on the tires. Any stubborn tire that I can't get it to air up just by lifting up on the tire or whatever on the machine. I bought this off eBay, $62, shipped to my house. It is an absolute cannon. I love this thing. I put a fitting on there so I can hook it right up to line pressure. And like I said, there's never been a tire that I couldn't seat with this thing. And the ball valve is fast. I mean, it seals. I seal up all the fittings, and this thing's great. I don't get to use it nearly as much as I thought I was going to, though. Okay, moving on, we'll put the tire on the machine. It came with, I think I got 4. 1, 2, 3, yeah, I got 4 different size cones. Progressively larger, and then there's a bigger one. They'll fit any rim. So let's see here. I don't use the spring. I probably do this backwards from half the people that are going to tell me I got this on there wrong, but this is what works best for me. I put that cone in the center with no spring behind it. I just wiggle the tire as I tighten it down and it centers it. Okay, we'll go ahead and switch on the side of the machine. We'll turn the machine on. SPR096 comes up. I don't know what this is, DS680. That always comes up like it's the model number of the machine. So we got our measure tape out here, 10.5 inches. So we'll run this up. 10.5. The balancer came with the width gauge. Let's measure the width of it here. We're about 8 inches. 8 inches, and that's a 14-inch tire. 14-inch tire. I guess the only downfall to this is it doesn't have the shroud on it to keep the mud and stuff from flying on you, but to be honest with you, I try to avoid doing tires when they're wet or muddy anyways. I mean, you have to do them when they're wet sometimes. I also bought my wheel weight starter kit off of eBay. It was like $200 and it came with plenty of weights to get started, both aluminum and steel weights. So, let's see here. My biggest complaint about the wheel weights that I bought is it doesn't come with like 225. It goes from 2 to 250. It goes from 150 to 2. There's no 175. So I had to buy those separate. And wheel weights kind of get expensive. I also save old ones for my own vehicles. If it's not that bad, I'll use it on my own. Safe way of putting a quarter ounce wheel weight on without smashing my fingers. Okay. Telling me I'm a quarter ounce out here. Let's see. Where am I at? Oh, it wants another quarter ounce. Don't like that. Let me pull this quarter off and spin it to see if it asks me for a half ounce next to this weight. Why are you fucking with me? Okay, let's go ahead and get this tire mounted up on the tire machine. I'm going to knock the center cap out of it. Now it did come with a spring that went on there, and then you know the instructions tell you to put the cone on that way for centering, and then you run it down. I don't ever do it that way. I might have some people disagree with me, but I find the best way to center a rim, if the rim is, you know, it'll fit this way, is to find the cone that corresponds with the rim and run the nut right against that. I mean, then you know it's centered, it's tight. So that's how I do it. I've always done it that way, and it seems to work. Just kind of wiggle the tire a little bit as I tighten it up. Okay. Let me move you in a little closer here. Okay. Turn the machine on. And let's measure. We are at about 10.5 out 2. And the width is, and it came with this width ruler. Looks like we're about 7.5 inches. Goes in between. We'll go 7.7, and we know that this is a 14-inch rim. We'll hit start. The only downfall is the fact that this machine doesn't have a shroud to keep, you know, debris from flying off the tire. But as much as I can avoid it, I try not to mess with tires when they're muddy anyway, so I might be okay there. Okay, it's asking for a 125 and a 175, so let's give it what it's right here. All you do is roll the tire until the full bar, all 5 lights are lit up inside the bar. And then you put the wheel weight on at the very top of the rim, just like you would any of the common name brand machines. Let's see. Here, spin it up. Okay. Zeros, that easy, and it's effective. I've done, like I said, I've done over 200 tires, over 50 sets of tires on vehicles, and I haven't had any problems. You know, with the exception of the one little issue I had with this right out of the line there. But since I've repaired that, I haven't had an issue with this, and the balancer, or I'm sorry, the changer, I haven't had an issue with at all. So hopefully this was somewhat informative to anyone that's considering buying one of these machines off of eBay. Like I said, I think I paid, I want to say it was in the neighborhood of $1,300. I don't remember. I know it was a little bit cheaper because I didn't go with the air blast, the bead blast on this machine. And to be honest with you, I bought that tank and I haven't used it nearly as much as I thought I was going to. So if there was a guy that was just doing this as a home hobby and he wasn't sure, you know, if you wanted to go one way or the other, save yourself some money. Buy one. I mean, there's a lot of uses to that tank outside of feeding tires, but that's a whole other video. Anyway, if you liked it, give me a thumbs up. I appreciate you watching. Thank you.